Instagram Threads is the absolute worst social media application to have ever graced humanity. The fact that it's considered on par with things like Snapchat, Twitter, is just a crime against humanity. Every time I get on that application, I'm immediately prepared for billions of brain cells to die from just the ridiculous and stupid takes that everybody on that application seems to have. I'm obviously not dissing every single person on that application. I'm sure that there's quite a few people on there that come up with decent or relatively normal takes or just talk about sports. I'm talking about the people that take copy rage bait from NPC bots and just other AI and obviously just interaction oriented posts on Instagram threads, and they copy paste it to their own page and act like they came up with the thought or they had that ounce of creative genius that came up with the post that got 20,000 likes, which is usually just some ridiculous rage bait or completely false or wrong take that makes people so angry that they feel obliged to literally go and respond to that thread. And it's a hive mind. It's a bunch of people posting the same thing over and over, copy pasting on different accounts, acting like they're creative geniuses that they every little bone in their body formed together to come up with this artistic thought that really deserves 30,000 likes on Instagram threads. And it's like you go and you read it and you type it into the search bar, and then like six or seven other people have already posted it and already got like their 20,000 likes from this just ridiculous take. And the worst part is every person on that app that I've seen so far, pretty much, because I've been on there for like 2 or 3 hours just reading, are people that post things to rage bait people into commenting to get more and more reactions and likes and comments. And that's a trend that we see across all of social media as we continue to get into the rage bait area, especially with things that are so aggravating to people, such as like politics. As we continue to trend further into these waters, people continuously like to rage bait and post the most ridiculous things in order to get more interactions so they can get more popular. I think obviously the rise of influencers, has directly contributed to people constantly trying to farm likes and attention. But also, I just think that Instagram Threads standard IQ is probably 70. You go on this application and it's usually just some 50-year-old person that's like, "Ooh, this is bad," and it's usually just like the most liked thing. I actually think I saw an Instagram thread, and I think it literally said, "Minecraft is the worst game that has ever been created on this planet." And it's like you think to yourself, and you're like, "This is obvious rage bait. I don't want to respond." And then you go in the comments, and there's like 7 or 8 people that have already responded and started like 50 comment threads arguing over why Minecraft is not the worst game on the planet, knowing damn well that the game is not the worst game on the planet. And that's all Instagram Threads is. It's like a rip off Twitter where you don't get moderated because, as we all know, Instagram Reels is one of the most egregious things on the planet. You go on there and you'll go from like a cute reel to immediate car crash video, and it's one of the most absurd things ever. You literally cannot open Instagram Reels in public if you have any respect or any fear that you may like lose your job or like your social life may just come crashing down on top of you. Instagram Threads is that, but with dumbass takes. I saw something earlier as well that was so absurd to me, and it's literally just a copy paste of what color they think school subjects are, which is honestly fine in nature. I have nothing against that. The problem is that it was directly copy pasted word for word, emoji for emoji from another user that posted it like 30 minutes before. The entire point of this post was to farm interaction in the comments so people would be like, "No, blue is not social studies, blue is science." And it's just stupid shit like that all over Instagram threads. Obviously, there's a lot of examples, like in politics, of people saying things that either you may or may disagree with. It's a wind tunnel for people to constantly try to farm attention and interaction through comments and likes. And it's just an entire application that's dedicated to chasing that influencer life that people so desperately want to have, but they literally can't spend 30 seconds to come up with an original thought of their own. But my biggest problem with Instagram threads derives from the fact that it's just a copy paste of Twitter. I mean, the whole concept of it is you get so many characters to type out a thought, post it, have people, be able to like, comment, share it, whatever, exactly like Twitter. The problem with Instagram threads is things like brands, producers, influencers, they use Instagram threads to try and get people to go from their ridiculous takes on Instagram threads to their main Instagram pages in hopes that they'll follow it and interact on there. Because obviously, Instagram is the big application that everyone knows, and Threads is like the problem child that they randomly formed for no clear reason, probably in the wake of Twitter's downfall after the whole sale with Elon Musk. The entire application exists as basically a copy paste of Twitter, and it's primarily used for people to get their 15 minutes where they feel good about themselves because they got like 10,000 likes on some stupid ass take, or for products, brands, and influencers to just try and get more traffic to their main Instagram page because that's where the money is. And that's the biggest problem with Instagram Threads, in my personal opinion. But not just that, it's one of the most absurd applications I've ever seen. And I've seen so many takes on there that are so ridiculous that when I get on there now and I'm scrolling and I see something just super absurd and ridiculous, I don't even think to myself that it's absurd anymore. I don't think twice about it because it's so used and so desensitized to the ridiculous content that I see on there that it's like I see this ridiculous content, this absurd claim or fact or just a fact, just whatever bullshit that they post on there, and I don't even think twice about it because I'm like, yeah, that's probably a lie or just rage bait. I'm not going to interact with that, and that's all the application is. And there's a lot of sentient people that understand that as well. You'll go in the comment sections of some clear rage bait post, and there'll be a lot of people that are just like, this is like 0 out of 10 rage bait. But the problem is there's so many either bots or just people that are so unaware that it's rage bait or just one of the most ridiculous claims ever made that they won't actually process that, and they'll go and they'll interact with the post that's rage bait, and then they'll like start like a huge 50 comment thread that just keeps giving that owner of the post more and more interaction, and that's what Instagram Threads is. It's one of the most ridiculous applications to have ever graced humanity. I strongly detest the application, and I really hope that eventually they cut support to it, they stop funding it, because all I've seen from the app is aggravating others with their most ridiculous takes and just farming attention and trying to get interactions like likes and comments. It's there's nothing good that's ever come out of Instagram Threads. Nothing original on there. No people really use it other than maybe bots and like grandmas, or just people that are intentionally trying to rage bait to try and get traffic to their main page. There's truly just no reason for the application, and I've uninstalled it from my phone because that's just how trash it is. It's one of those applications where it's like it's miserable to be on because nothing good happens on there. It's just constant arguments between people arguing, no, this is right, no, this is right, or just some other ridiculous take. That's all the application is. It doesn't bring any joy. It's not like your conventional social media where you upload a post and get likes and people are like, oh, you're so pretty, and it makes you feel good about yourself. You get on Instagram Threads to feel anger. You get on it when you're seeing red and you want to go and clobber someone because you're so mad about something. That's all Instagram Threads I think is good for in general. And I guess it serves its purpose in doing that. But other than that, there's no clear reason to have that app on your phone to use that social media, because all it is just one of the most aggravating things ever. And I think it genuinely makes you more dumb as you scroll and consume those ridiculous takes that people think they're so smart for coming up with. That's all the app is. I really do not like it, and I just wanted to say that. Thanks.